The story of America began long before 1776. Native American tribes thrived across the continent, their histories woven into the land itself. From the eastern woodlands to the Great Plains, diverse cultures developed unique traditions and ways of life. Then, European explorers arrived, forever altering the course of the continent. The arrival of Europeans brought new opportunities but also great challenges. Driven by dreams of land and freedom, settlers came in increasing numbers, establishing colonies along the Atlantic coast. However, this pursuit of a new life came at a cost. Competition for land and resources led to conflict with Native American tribes, forever changing the relationship between the two peoples. Despite the hardships, the colonies grew. Fueled by agriculture, trade, and the spirit of self-governance, these settlements laid the foundation for a new nation. The colonists brought with them their own cultures and beliefs, creating a melting pot of traditions that would shape the character of the emerging nation. As the colonies prospered, so too did the seeds of independence. As the colonies matured, tensions rose with Great Britain. The colonists, accustomed to a degree of self-rule, bristled under increasingly restrictive policies from the British Crown. The cry of "no taxation without representation" echoed throughout the colonies, reflecting a growing desire for autonomy. In 1776, the colonists took a bold step, declaring their independence from Great Britain. This declaration, penned by Thomas Jefferson and signed by representatives from all 13 colonies, marked a turning point in history. It proclaimed the inherent rights of man, and set the stage for a long and bloody conflict. The American Revolutionary War tested the resolve of the fledgling nation. Led by General George Washington, the Continental Army faced a formidable foe in the British Empire. Despite setbacks and hardships, the colonists persevered, fueled by the belief in their cause and aided by foreign allies. With independence won, the newly formed United States faced the daunting task of governing itself. The first attempt, under the Articles of Confederation, proved too weak to effectively unite the 13 states. Leaders recognized the need for a stronger framework to ensure stability and unity. In 1787, delegates from the states gathered in Philadelphia for the Constitutional Convention. This pivotal gathering produced one of the most enduring documents in history, the United States Constitution. This document, based on principles of democracy, individual rights, and separation of powers, laid the groundwork for a new form of government. The Constitution established a federal system with a balance of power between the national government and individual states. It outlined a government with three branches: legislative, executive, and judicial, each with its own distinct powers and responsibilities. This system of checks and balances aimed to prevent tyranny and protect the rights of citizens. The Bill of Rights, added soon after, further enshrined fundamental freedoms such as speech, religion, and assembly. The U.S. Constitution became a beacon of hope for aspiring democracies worldwide. Section 4. A Nation Divided, the Civil War, and its Aftermath. Despite the promise of equality, the issue of slavery cast a long shadow over the young nation. In the mid-19th century, the nation stood on the brink of a catastrophic conflict. In 1861, the simmering tensions over slavery finally erupted into the Civil War. 11 southern states seceded from the Union, forming the Confederate States of America. Led by President Abraham Lincoln, the Union fought to preserve the nation and end slavery. The Civil War was a brutal and bloody conflict, pitting brother against brother and leaving lasting scars on the nation's psyche. After 4 years of devastating warfare, the Union ultimately prevailed. The Confederacy was defeated, slavery was abolished, and the nation was reunited. The aftermath of the Civil War brought about a period of reconstruction, as the South grappled with the end of slavery and the reintegration of Confederate states into the Union. The struggle for civil rights for African Americans continued long after the war's end, shaping the social and political landscape for generations to come. Section 5. Progress and Expansion. The Industrial Revolution and Westward Movement. The late 19th and early 20th centuries witnessed a period of rapid industrialization and westward expansion in the United States. The Industrial Revolution brought about unprecedented technological advancements, transforming the nation from an agrarian society to an industrial powerhouse. Factories sprang up in cities, producing goods on a mass scale and drawing people from rural areas in search of work. At the same time, the allure of the West beckoned. Fueled by dreams of land ownership and new beginnings, pioneers pushed westward, settling vast territories and displacing Native American tribes in the process. This era of progress, however, was not without its challenges. Rapid industrialization led to labor unrest, as workers faced harsh conditions and low wages. The Gilded Age, as it was known, saw a widening gap between the wealthy elite and the working class. The exploitation of natural resources and the displacement of Native Americans raised questions about the cost of progress. Section 6. Global Powerhouse, the 20th Century and America's Rise. The 20th century saw the United States emerge as a global superpower. The nation played a pivotal role in both world wars, helping to defeat tyranny and reshape the global order. The devastation of World War I gave rise to a period of economic prosperity known as the Roaring Twenties, followed by the devastating economic downturn of the Great Depression. The New Deal programs implemented under President Franklin D. Roosevelt helped to alleviate the suffering of the Depression and brought about significant social and economic reforms. World War II once again tested the nation's resolve. The United States entered the war following the attack on Pearl Harbor, joining the Allied forces in the fight against Nazi Germany and Imperial Japan. The war effort mobilized the nation's industries and workforce, leading to a period of economic growth. The post-war era saw the rise of the United States as a global superpower, engaged in the Cold War with the Soviet Union and its allies. Section 7. Shaping the Future, the Legacy of the Past, the Challenges of the Present. The latter half of the 20th century witnessed significant social and political change in the United States. The Civil Rights Movement, led by figures like Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks, challenged racial segregation and discrimination. The Women's Rights Movement fought for equal rights and opportunities for women. These movements brought about landmark legislation and transformed American society, promoting equality and justice for all citizens. As the 20th century drew to a close, the United States faced new challenges. The fall of the Soviet Union marked the end of the Cold War, but also gave rise to new global threats. Technological advancements brought about rapid globalization, connecting people and economies worldwide, but also creating new economic and social disparities. Today, the United States continues to grapple with its past and shape its future. Issues such as racial equality, economic inequality, climate change, and political polarization remain at the forefront of national discourse. As the nation navigates the complexities of the 21st century, it will be essential to learn from the lessons of history, embrace diversity, and work towards a more just and equitable society for all.